ReefDudes is sponsored by Ecotech Marine and Bulk Reef Supply. Today we're going to update on the HelloReef desktop nano tank. What's going on, guys? Devin from ReefDudes. So the HelloReef Nano is settling in quite nicely. We got the two clowns swimming around. I do have 4 different goniapora I've added, and I actually have a few more coming from FragBox tomorrow, so we'll get an update on those. And I also picked up a few frags from a local buddy that I'm going to add to the tank now. So we're going to give them a little dip, little cleaning, add a few more zoas to the tank, and then yeah, hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to add more gonies, which is going to be awesome. So let's get to it. My 2 pair of the Mocha Storms are doing pretty awesome. I mean, they do bicker a little bit, and I think this is the whole dominance thing of, you know, who's going to be the female and go from there. Now, generally that does tone down after a while, but there's still definitely a little bit of back and forth between the two now. The Zoa front, I did add some blue-eyed blondes. I got a really nice kind of rainbowy Gonny. The 2 up top are kind of starting to close up as my lights were almost turning off, so I was turning it back on. That one's nice and open, and that one's closed up a bit as well. There is some other cool creatures I can find them. We do have a fire shrimp hiding just in the cracks there. And underneath in this little cave, we also have a pom-pom crab. Now there's also a couple sexy shrimp that I can't find them at the moment, but there is 3 of them. They do randomly hide on different gonies around the tank. Most of the time they are actually on the top one, with the lights going down. I think they deked off somewhere else, so we'll see if we can find them. But in the meantime, let's get our corals and give it a bit of a dip. Now some of these are going in the nano, some of them are going to go in my big tank. Primarily I think I'm going to add the zoas to this tank. So I'm going to do gonies on all the upper regions, and I think just the lower base parts of the rock I'm going to add some zoas for color. So right now I do have some rastas over there, and the blue, or scrambled eggs, sorry. So we got, I think, emeralds on fire, blue-eyed blondes. Let's get them. We're going to give it a quick dip in some peroxide and tank water, just make sure there's no algae on it, and we'll get them in the tank. Now with zoas, I am a fan of using peroxide, so I did scoop out some tank water, and I'm just going to add the zoas on top of this with a bit of hydrogen peroxide. 3% works well. I don't exactly measure it, but a few scientific glugs. And this one mainly works as just a bit of a dip to get rid of any potential algae that might be on the zoas. So with the hydrogen peroxide, you can see it's starting to bubble up, and it is going to start to oxidize the algae on the frag plug. And you see those little spritz around the edges, so that should clear that all up. And same thing, got a little tubey worms in there, and hopefully that will take those guys out as well. And I'll clean it up a little bit as well before I put it in, just for good measure. Now on the cleanup crew side, I did add a fighting conch and a couple other snails who have been fantastic to help, you know, beat the uglies and get the tank back to happy. And hiding under the rocks in this little cave, we have a pom-pom crab. And these guys are super awesome. I've always loved pom-pom crabs, and it's been a while since I've had one, so super stoked to have one again. Did grab this guy from Adam at Impact Aquariums, so thanks Adam. Super cool little crabs, and yeah, this little pom-pom's so cool. I wish he'd be out a little bit more, so hopefully he will be over time, but for now he seems to mainly be hiding under the little caves, but I see him once in a while. A couple of the good old scrambled eggs. These guys are classic. I love the color. And some of the gonies, and good old sexy shrimp. So these guys are awesome. I do love them. They're super cool. Again, there's something that will get lost or eaten in the big tank. So I'm really stoked to find lots of little cool creatures to do inside the nano now. All the stuff that you wouldn't see in a big tank. Of course, always give it a quick scrub with the toothbrush and get off any little loose particles, which also ups your odds of avoiding any pests or algae in the tank. I'm also a fan of chopping off the stubs of frag plugs, because who wants to see that in your tank? Looks much better when you're just having a little plug that doesn't look like a frag. I'm just going to set them in the tank for now, and then tomorrow, once they're fully opened up, I'll decide on their final places, because I'm kind of trying to play with color and make sure that nothing that's the same color or too similar is side by side. Aha, the FedEx ferry has arrived. Oh. Alright, so I got my order from FragBox. Shout out to March, really appreciate you hooking me up with some gonies. Really stoked. Really cute little stickers on all the corals. Nice and double bagged. The gonies look pretty happy in there, which is great. So I got a few new gonies for the tank, so super duper stoked. And we're gonna put these into the tank and let them float. Next up, looks like this will be like a red or a pink one, so pretty stoked. Nice little whale for good touch. It's like a pretty sweet grainy one. I am so stoked for this to turn to like an awesome connie tank. March, thank you again, buddy. You can always see little polyps poking out, which is definitely a good sign. Even got a little acclimation guide, which is kind of nice to see, especially for new reefers. So acclimation guide, open your new coral shipment, carefully remove your corals, float them for 10 to 15 minutes, drip acclimate them, and then it's always recommended as a coral dip, so definitely recommended. So yeah, pretty sweet. Little QR code for the YouTube channel, so that's pretty awesome. So definitely show for FragBox. Let's get these guys acclimated and we will check them out. Okay, so we got them floating in there. You can see little bits of color pop starting to poke out with the polyps. I am so stoked to see what these guys look like. This was a bit of a mystery surprise pack for March, so it's gonna be super cool, but I'm really excited to get these guys in the tank. I'm always a fan of removing them off the plug, so I'm gonna pop them off just for good measure. There we go. One off. Two. Oh, look at that. It looks like green and yellow almost. Oh, these are beautiful. Oh, came off nice and easily. So normally want to acclimate them for a little bit. Honestly, I think they're probably going to be pretty close anyways, but we'll do a bit of water mixing just for good measure. Yeah. Alright, so for now I'm just going to set these guys in and I will glue them in a little later once I figure out the best spots. My precious. So we got the new gunnies in the tank. Now they're still closed up from moving them and dipping them, so let's let them settle in for an hour or two and we'll check back in a bit when they're open and happy. Alright, so it is now Sunday afternoon. Things in the tank have had a bit of time to settle. You know, the zoas are open, the gonnies, everything's looking good. Shout out to Dylan for trading on the zoas. Thanks for that, buddy. They're looking nice and happy. And a big shout out to FragBox. Marge, thanks for hooking me up with a few gonnies, man. They look awesome. Impressed with the shipping and impressed with how, you know, quick everything was open and looking awesome. So definitely appreciate that. And I think the Nano and all the gonnies is starting to look pretty awesome. You know, give it, you know, a little bit of time to settle in, and once these gonnies start spreading, I think it's going to look amazing, and all my rock is nothing but gonnies. So it's going to be a really cool gonnie Nano, and I'm really excited for that. Now it is New Year's Eve, and just finishing this one up, video up for tomorrow, so I just want to wish everyone a happy New Year's. I am kind of curious if any of you guys have any tank resolutions for your stuff, or any like reefer resolutions. So anything you're going to change, do better, change for next year? If so, let me know in the comments. Might be a fun topic for this week's live stream. So yeah, happy New Year everybody, and as always, you enjoyed this, hit that like button. If you're new, make sure you subscribe. Got any questions or reefer resolutions you want to share, let me know in the comments, and I'll catch you guys on Wednesday's live stream.